homegrown school feeding program commences in Kaduna. The overseer of the feeding program in Kaduna, Gora, stated that the federal government will feed primary 1 to 3 pupils, while the state government will feed primary 4 to 6 pupils. 146 vendors have been secured to provide services to both the state and the federal government components. The program's operation manager further disclosed that more than 200 people were being trained to monitor and ensure the success of the program. A director in the Kaduna State Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, Gora, has disclosed that the federal government's homegrown school feeding program commenced in Kaduna State on July 25, NAN reports. Mr. Gora, who oversees the program, told the news agency of Nigeria on Monday, July 30, in Kaduna, that about 800,000 pupils would be fed at N70 per meal. According to him, the government will spend about N56 million daily, and N280 million a week and N1 billion every month in feeding pupils. The director said that out of the 20,146 vendors shortlisted for the program, only 9,000 would participate. He said, based on the arrangement, the federal government will feed primary 1 to 3 pupils, while the state government will feed primary 4 to 6 pupils. However, if you remember, in 2016, when the program was implemented in the state government fed all the pupils from primary 1 to primary 6 at the cost of over $10 billion. It shouldered the responsibility of the federal government on the agreement that the federal government would refund to the state the amount it spent on feeding primary 1 to 3 pupils. The amount was about $7 billion, and so far, the federal government has refunded $5 billion to the state. Mr. Gora said that as soon as the federal government refunds the remaining balance, the state would commence the feeding of primary 4 to 6 pupils. He said that the 20,146 vendors were supposed to provide services to both the state and the federal government components. So far, only 9,000 vendor accounts have been verified, while the remaining vendors are being processed. I am sure we will complete the verification process before the state government's component comes on stream, the director said. He acknowledged that the program was, however, experiencing some challenges. From the report on my table, some vendors were posted to different communities, far away from home, and this is a problem for us. For example, some vendors were posted to a primary school in Maribon, Jos instead of schools in their community as planned. Out of suspicion, the parents of the pupils stopped their children from meeting the food on the grounds that the vendors were not from that community and so should not be trusted. We are, however, doing all we can to address this and other challenges, Mr. Gora added. Meanwhile, Adbayo.un, the program's operation manager, said that more than 200 people were being trained to monitor and ensure the success of the program. After the one-day training, these trainees would go out to the field to ensure that the women are cooking, the quality of the food is adequate, the quantity and hygiene is maintained, Mr. Un said. Previously reported that the federal government disclosed that under the homegrown school feeding program of the Buhari administration, a total of N3,770, 688, 144 has so far been released for the feeding of 1,287,270 school children in 9 states. This disclosure was made by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Mr. Layoluakand.